Among student volunteers, the enthusiasm for public welfare activities seldom lasts long. Those they once gave care to don't expect familiar faces when a new weekend arrives.
If you are unable to come here next time, he will miss you very much.
Lean in CUC, a girl club dedicated to exploring the soul of every woman. What do they talk about? Do girls benefit from it? Stay with us on today's interview.
I think that girls from Communication University of China was really great.
Welcome to CUCNewsline, a news magazine airing twice a month. I'm Wang. These 2 weeks, Ming came to campus, telling how to become an outstanding sports news correspondent with his own stories. Popular cosplayer groups gather here, staging creative shows at the annual Spring Gala. And a campus guard got attacked by 2 men around the West Gate and passed out for nearly an hour. More details on review.
A party of Beijing cosplayers drew hundreds of pop culture fans to CUC's Cosplay in Beijing gala. D-Theater, Disabled Soldiers Club, and a number of other popular groups staged their shows. Doki Doki 48, a group cosplaying members of the Japanese pop group AKB48, lives up the carnival with the song Loud Diamond. Violent events could be happening on the campus. A campus guard was beaten by 2 men around the West Gate. The guard fell into a faint and was taken to hospital immediately. The 2 attackers, one man in his 60s with red t-shirt and the other in his 20s, both appeared drunk and were detained by the police. According to the eyewitnesses, the campus guard was beaten when clearing away an unlicensed cab which the 2 attackers were just about to take. The elder of the 2 attackers became disgruntled and started to insult the guard. The campus guard was okay after examination and has returned to work. CUC's cultural achievements attract a group of party school students of the Ministry of Finance. They watch a 3D animated movie called Kung Fu Bunny and Vegetable Bun Puppy, which is the latest product of CUC's Jiang studio. They also watch broadcast devices displayed at the Media Museum and TV program recording at the campus TV station. Yao Ming, a former Chinese basketball superstar, comes to CUC to talk about how to become an outstanding sports news correspondent. By telling lots of stories of his own, Yao stresses the necessity of remaining objective and rational in sports news reporting and commentating.
The most challenging task for a sports news correspondent is to present the audience a pure game. You have to let the audience judge by themselves.
Yao also encouraged students to exercise as much as possible. Renowned commentators at Central China Television's sports channel, Yang Jian and Sha Tong, also showed up. The lecture is part of the project co-launched by School of Broadcasting and Anchoring and Central China Television. An audience of over 700 people squeezed into the lecture hall designed to hold half of the total number just to feast their eyes on a gala called Dance Only Passworld. Dancers pretending to be James Bond have to finish a mission called Passworld. Dancers perform dances of different parts of the world such as India, Africa, Japan, and America. The dance party, the 4th of its kind, is held annually by the Passworld Street Dance Club of CUC.
More and more students begin to participate in public welfare activities. They feel obligated or self-satisfied when giving care and love to those in need. But few have kept doing it for years or even just a few weeks. Seniors and children with disabilities in special centers see visitors every weekend, never knowing whom they will meet next time. Why just few student volunteers keep doing it? Do those in need really feel happy and obliged for what student volunteers have done? Our reporters Yang Xuemin and Nie Lijuan have more.
The Songtang Hospice is a place dedicated to the care of the terminally ill. This Saturday afternoon, 9 student volunteers from CUC came. singing, dancing, and chatting with the old patients. But after they left, the patients there said they couldn't remember any of them.
I can't remember these people, really can't remember. They are new faces each time.
Few student volunteers have come regularly. This Saturday, more than half of them were new faces. During this semester, some volunteers have come here only once or twice. Only 2 or 3 students could keep coming every weekend.
I hear that there should be more than 10 volunteers being today. Why only so few came?
It's quite embarrassing to say. Maybe they're too busy. After all, everyone has his own business to do.
But a student volunteer told us what she usually did at a weekend.
Generally, I just stay at my dormitory, do some laundry, and read some books.
At a weekend, when the recreation room of the hospice became vibrant with student volunteers, some old patients seemed revived when watching students' performance. However, several old men just stayed at the corner of the room, looking quite gloomy. Their eyes were dull, blank, and lifeless. No student volunteers walked over to speak to them. They would like to talk with those who were lively and talkative.
These student volunteers do not have psychological knowledge. When facing those solitary unsociable elders, they don't know how to talk to them. Actually, these old people are more eager for the care and attention.
For lacking specialized skills to communicate with and take care of these old people, what volunteers can do here is simple: singing songs and chatting with them. They're suggested not to feed elders or to help them move their bodies, which require professional skills. But even these simple things, it's still hard for them to persist in doing it.
You come here and chat with an old person, and then you build a relationship with him. If you are unable to come here next time, he will miss you very much.
Also at the weekend, another major volunteer group of CUC, 星火, went to Aomei Hearing Rehabilitation Center, where kids still cannot talk like normal kids, even at age 6 or 7. All of them have to wear hearing aids. Duo Chengxiang, a 6-year-old boy, looked quite elvish and naughty when volunteers arrived. He would act excitedly and even dance joyfully to attract volunteers' attention. But his teacher said, usually he's quiet and introversive and doesn't like to talk to others.
Owing to little contact with the world outside, most kids here stay in their own world. They don't know how to express their thoughts. When they meet strangers such as these students volunteers, the children often become either too withdrawn or too excited.
Ma Yanyan is one of the volunteers. Almost every Sunday, she comes here to see the kids. On her way to the center, she showed how to guide these children to open their mouth and speak. But in fact, when they were there with the children, they didn't do that.
Some volunteers come here just for satisfying their own curiosity or interest, not knowing what the kids here really need. So they play with the kids for just half an hour and then lose patience and interest, killing the rest of the time by reading stories online or chatting with their friends.
It looks it has become a common concern among care centers. They welcome volunteers, but are worried about the harm done to those in need for a lack of real devotion and professional knowledge among volunteers. The head nurse of the Songtang Hospice said, every volunteer must know some specialized skills and the meaning of love. Only when we really know what they need can we enter their world. Yang Xueming, Nie Lijuan, CUCNewsline.
Earlier last year, the First Lady of Facebook, Sheryl Sandberg, published a book known as The Chicken Soup for Every Female Soul in This World. Lean In, Women, Work, and the Will to Lead. The book has not only encouraged millions of working, used to work, and going to work women, but also introduced a brand new type of social network, Circle, which allows women with similar experience to gather together regularly to discuss things that trouble them. This social network has also been introduced to the campus by a small group of girls. And we're glad to have one of them, Billy Lee, with us in our studio today, sharing her experience about leaning CUC.
Hello, my dear audience. Good afternoon. This is Piran, and welcome to today's interview. Today we have Billy Lee with us. She's one of the initiators of Lean In CUC, a group discussion organization for girls only. Welcome to the studio, Billy.
Hi, Piran. Thank you for having me here today.
Yeah, we're also happy too. Well, talking about Lean In, we acknowledge that Lean In is actually a part of the name of the book, which was written by Sheryl Sandberg. She's also the chief operating officer of Facebook. The full name of that book was Lean In, Women, Work, and Well to Lead, which actually encouraged a lot of women to take a step forward in their career. So when did you first heard about the book and get a chance to read that?
Okay, I'm very happy to share. I actually read the book Lean In while I was pursuing my exchange program in Taipei. So one day I was reading in Chengpin bookstore and I saw the book Lean In on the bestseller top charts. But initially, I had no idea whatsoever what Lean In, the title, means to me, and I had no idea whatsoever who the woman on the cover is. I didn't know Sheryl Sandberg at that time. So initially, I paid no attention to the book until I overheard two women beside me talking to each other. They were like, "Hey, have you read the book Lean In? And you know what? Every woman in my company is reading about it recently." And wow, I became so curious. So I picked up the book and I read it. And it turns out to be a life-changing experience.
When I did the research about the book, I acknowledged that after the book was published, a lot of women started discussing things which was talked about in a book, and they start forming a kind of social network, which was called Circle. As our anchorman puts it, I think many of our audience are pretty curious about what Circle is. Could you please tell us about it?
Okay, sure. So a circle is formed by like 6 to 10 like-minded women who gather together regularly and to educate, to share, and inspire each other. So we want to like form a women community that's a very progressive community.
So, but a lot of students in our campus get to know about Lean In because the May 11th event, which you held in the underground cafe in the library. So when did you come up with the idea to expand this circle into a school event?
So like I said, last semester, the idea of Circle was new to me, and it was also new to every member. So it's like an experimentation on new ideas. So we tested the idea, and we thought it was great. So we think that great things deserve to be shared. So we all built the consensus that this semester we feel the necessity and we feel the confidence of introducing the good idea to more people. And we hope that more people, more girls can benefit from it.
How many people were there at that event?
Around 50.
How about the feedback?
It was great. It was
Really
totally
great?
beyond our expectation. Yeah.
I heard from one of the group members, you said that you had to prepare something to talk about in case nobody want to talk. Is that true?
Yeah. One day before the event, I told all the moderators to prepare some personal stories, some personal accounts, just in case that nobody wants to talk. But actually, that was totally unnecessary because every girl just kept talking, and it really surprised me. I think that girls from Communication University of China was really great.
Do you sometimes, I mean just sometimes, do you also feel the limitation of the girls-only group discussion organization?
Your point is that men and women should talk to each other without limitation.
Yeah.
But for example, you can say that Democrats and Republicans should talk to each other, but it does not mean that Democrats should not have their own association.
That's good.
In fact,
I like that.
yeah, so Democrats solve their own problems before they can talk to Republicans. That's my point.
Well,
Okay.
that's it. Well, as you're going abroad for further education, so are you going to continue leaning circle things when you go to America?
Maybe I would see if I can find a group of like-minded women. That's the point.
Well, Billy, thank you very much for joining us in today's interview.
Thank you.
Well, my dear audience, maybe a 5 minutes interview is far too short for you to get all your questions answered about LinkedIn. For those boys and girls who are interested in LinkedIn, open your WeChat and search for LinkedIn CUC, all characters in lowercase, no black space. Thank you again for joining us, and see you next time.
See you.
Thanks for watching this edition of CUC Newsline. I'm Wang. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time. See you.